One, thank you for making your time for this meeting. I've called you both in because I've noticed some tension and delay in the engineering department over the past few weeks. Productivity important, but so is team morale. Danish, you requested a formal review of your workload, so I would like to start with you.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak openly. To be honest, I'm feeling increasingly overwhelmed. As a computer engineer, my primary responsibility is system maintenance, server monitoring, and software updates. However, over the past few months, I've been assigned a growing amount of administrative work, procurement forms, compliance reports, and internal documentation that falls outside my core role. This does take up a significant portion of my time, often cutting into hours dedicating to technical issues. I'm doing my best, but it's becoming difficult to maintain the quality and reliability expected of our systems under this workload.
Uh, I do like to support Danish point here. So from my perspective, as a observer, the impact is already visible. Just last week, we almost missed a critical server upgrade because Danish was tied up filling out non-technical reports for nearly 10 hours. That delay could have caused serious downtime if we hadn't carved it in time. Uh, the concern isn't just about workload fairness, it's about operational risk. If our engineers are buried in paperwork, our technical performance will suffer, and that could end up costing the company more in the long run.
I understand where both of you coming from, and I don't want to dismiss this concern. However, I also need to be transparent about the company situation. We are operating under a very tight budget this quarter. Hiring additional administrative staff or a dedicated clerk simply isn't financially feasible right now. The administrative workload still need to be handled, and until our financial situation improve, we have to rely on existing staff to cover those responsibilities.
I do understand the budget constraints, and I'm not trying to be unreasonable. I want the company to succeed as much as anyone else here. That said, if I'm expected to continue handling responsibilities beyond my original job scope, I believe that should be formally recognized. If my role could be re-evaluated to reflect these added duties, and if compensation package such as an allowance or stipend were included, I would be more willing to continue managing both technical and administrative tasks. Would that be something that company could consider?
Before your response, Sama, perhaps we could explore a compromise. While hiring new staff might not be possible, there may be non-financial ways to ease the burden. For example, allowing Danish to work remotely 2 days a week could reduce stress and improve efficiency, especially when dealing with paperwork that doesn't require physical access to the server.
I appreciate your suggestion, Afi, but remote work is difficult to justify for a lead engineer. Danish often need to be on site to respond quickly to the server issue and hardware check. That said, I do see merit in Danish request for recognition. While a full salary raise isn't possible at this time, we could consider offering a temporary stipend to compensate for the additional administrative workload. This would be reviewed once the company's financial position improves.
That sounds like a reasonable compromise. I'm willing to accept a temporary stipend instead of a permanent raise for now. However, I'd also like to suggest setting a clear limit on how many hours per week I'm expected to spend on administrative tasks. This will help ensure that my technical responsibilities remain the priority. If we can agree on that boundary, I'm confident I can manage both roles more effectively without burning out.
That's a fair request. I think setting a weekly cap on the administrative hour is sensible. I will also communicate with other departments and make it clear that they shouldn't overload you with unnecessary paperwork. some of those requests really should stay within their own teams.
That sounds like a solid agreement. We've addressed workload balance, compensation, and expectation without escalating the situation. I'm glad we were able to reach a solution without arguing until we were blue in the face.
I agree. Thank you both for your honesty and professionalism. Let's document this term and review the arrangement in a few months to see how it's working.
Thank you. I appreciate being heard and supported. I'm confident this will help perform better for